I think I was perhaps 44 years of age, and I had this dream about my father, which at the time he had been deceased for perhaps 19 years. And in the dream, I'm at the home that I grew up in, and I walked out of the house and onto the sidewalk. And I looked down at the end of the sidewalk, and my father was standing there. Now, he was standing in the lawn right next to the walk, and the walk was perhaps 10 inches to a foot above my father's feet. So I walked out to the end of the walk, and I reached up to my father to embrace him, and I found it very difficult to even reach his shoulders. But as I did that, I said, "Dad, I love you." And he responded, and he said, "I love you too." Almost immediately when that occurred, we both just started flying, and very quickly we were launched into the outer space. I thought we were going to heaven, and that was really the whole dream. But it was later, days later, that I started dwelling on the dream, and I kept wondering, here I am, I've walked out on the walk, and I'm trying to embrace my father. Why did I find it so difficult to reach up to him? And it was then that I realized that I was not an adult in that dream. I was a child of perhaps 5 years of age, 4 or 5. And just a little backstory or background on this story. My father and I, I was very passionate about my father. I was adopted, and I had a great love and great passion for my father as a baby, as a young man, as a young boy. But after 5 years of age, our relationship began to deteriorate, and by the time I was at a senior in high school, we really didn't have a relationship. It had all gone. But what God was doing in that dream was He was restoring a relationship at the level and at the intensity that I had as that 5-year-old. Now, as I go on more in time, and you wonder why did I have that, and why did I have that dream? And it was 5 years later that my wife and I would become engaged in spiritual warfare as we battled for our own children. They were dealing with issues in their lives, and they were certainly off track spiritually, but they were at a point that they couldn't do anything about it themselves. They were in bondage. And I really believe with all my heart that God had prepared me and my wife to fight spiritually, but we could not fight that spiritual battle with me having unforgiveness in my life. But it's changed my life dramatically with that of forgiving my father. And I don't know that I could have done that without God's intervention and without Him coming to me and speaking and bringing healing in that dream.